Hey there, Heather Ho, there's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to yet another ASG Golf video to do with the 60s 2000s tour and the match play on Thursday. That being day 4, we are down to 16 men. The winner will go to the Tournament of Champions at Augusta that starts December 31st, 2026. And if you take second place, you go to a wildcard tournament, 6 wildcards per tour. But you could still qualify by winning a subsequent tournament the next 11 months, and then your run of throws is just null and void. So we got 16 men. We have Bobby Nichols, Dal Finsterwald, Bob Golby, Hendrik Stutz, as I burp, Frank Beard, Dave Reagan, Bernard Hunt, Art Wall, Kermit Sarley, Aaron Oberholzer, Jack Burke, Anthony Kuhn, Phil Mickelson, Graham McDowell, Luke Donald, and Dan Sykes. So we have 4 foreigners and 12 Americans, if you must know. So two foreigners on each side of the bracket, if you will. We will be watching the Phil Mickelson Graham McDowell match because that's the most intriguing round of 16 match. So we will do that. Any matches that are not complete after Mickelson and McDowell are done will be televised for bonus coverage. Mickelson down the pike. Well, at least it's not the bunkers. McDowell, whoa, that's wide left. There's no wind. How did you miss that shot? McDowell up and nicely done. Well, he played the slope correctly. Mickelson?
All right.
Whoa. That's from downtown, so he'll have a tough pitch shot. And not really the same world. He tried. He got it. Second shot, Mickelson. Playing it up. Graham McDowell. Up and over. Good shot. For the hole. Way off. Back out for par. Right. Mickelson. Fumbled it. Wow. He had a chance to win the hole, and then he fumbled it. On to 3. Look out. That is trouble. Mickelson. Perfect. Down the middle. 305. 305. Ground. Up and over. Whoa. Mickelson. Up and over. And good shot. Close. You got to do this to win. But the back of the green is it slowly fucks him over. Up and over. Well, he's back on for the hole. So nuts. McDowell for poke. Survive in advance. Church use number 2. Well, Mickelson can't get out of it this time. Graham. Hit the bunker. Not the church pews bunker.
All right.
Everything but Mickelson. McDowell, up and over. Yeah. Mickelson. Yeah. Up and over. Ish. Yeah. Mickelson. Does that for par. Just to half the hole. Really? Wow. Ouch. That'll hurt. Graham McDowell on 5. Up and straight, and he's going to overshoot the fairway because there's no clapping. Now there's clapping, but there wasn't. Mickelson. Definitely no clapping. That's a bunker shot. Bottom of the. That's a weird lie. Bottom of the ditch. Never seen that before. When it talks about the lie, what type of lie? See the ref, but at the bottom of the ditch. I didn't even know that was an option. Holy Saint Laurent. He misses the part. Flip it. And flip it. Whoa. Sir. The Ulsterman. And yes, that is the proper way of talking about a Northern Irishman. That is not a slur. Mickelson, can you stay away from What did I do? Ground. Get to the pin. And for the hole. Deficit down to 1. On to 7. Look out to the left side. Graham McDowell. Graham McDowell. Up and over. For par. Up a little bit. Now you'll hear the wind sound effect, but we'll get out of it. Once we get out of this hole, we'll go back to look at this. Oh, Lewis. The hole. Now you won't hear the wind. Bobby Nichols is our first quarterfinals. He beat Dal Finsterwald. I think he's won a tournament before, hasn't he? I think so too. Well, Graham McDowell trying to throw trouble on the left-hand side. He does just that. Mickelson. For Eagle. He can't do it. Mickelson should be able to. Down to 1. On to 10. We'll get through the 9 scores of everyone. Why aren't you clapping? That's on the fairway. Or maybe not. No, that isn't. Maybe he's like, well, it's so close to the left. I'm like, we went from the left to the fairway. You should be clapping. Nope. Up and over. Mickelson. Pitch up. That did not sound good. That's not effective. For par. Stenson beats Goldby by 3, so Henrik Stenson will win. I think he gets Nichols. I think so too, but Henrik Stenson doing his job for Sweden. He's won a few tournaments. I think he won 2 last year, and he got the boot because he won tournaments. Yeah, once you win 2 tournaments, you're booted for the rest of the year because, after all, you want to be famous. Did that even help? I'm like, that didn't sound like a green, a bunker that would spit you all up, chew you up and spit you out. For bogey. Well, everything's tight match. Bernard Hunt when it counts. He beats Art Wall, so Hunt is in. So 2 out of 2 for the foreign contingent. And Bernard Hunt does his job. Mickelson, Graham, look out. It's a bunker. Next shot. Mickelson, up and over. Graham, up and over, and bunker. Good shot. Ouch. Man, McDowell's back nine has just been terrible. He's lost all the momentum. He's like, he's going to take down Phil Mickelson. Yep, he missed. But I think he's okay. He is. Phil is now 1 up with 6 to go. And he's Graham. Oh, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. Yeah, his shots out of the bunker have not worked out. They have not worked out. No, they haven't, Jeffrey. For the hole. Too much. Bogey. Down 2 up. Big Reagan moves on. He beats Frank Beard. I think Reagan won a tournament, didn't he, recently? In the 60s? Probably he did. I think he did. Mickelson to the right-hand side. Graham. This is a golden chance with 5 to go. He needs holes, and he needs them now. I think that's, what, 5, is it? 5 matchups? I think there's only 3 left. I think so, Mom. Yeah, I think you're right. For birdie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ready? Donuts. Graham for the hole. On to 15. Look out. Feel the frill? Perfect in on the right-hand side. And 3 feet now. Second shot from McDowell. Look out. Jeez. Bunker shots have just been his undoing today. Because Graham's like those mistakes. But Graham's not taking advantage of his own mistakes. For par. For par. Overshoots it. Makes it for the hole. He missed. Riley tapping the par, and now it's down. Overholes are be sorely. So once again, we're gonna have to hear that obnoxious yell. Just like that. Mickelson. To the right-hand side. McDowell. He's also there. McDowell. And he will use it. I think that's 6, right? 2 more matches left. For par. Donuts, he went overboard. McDowell. And Anthony Kim beats Jack Burke by 1. I think that's it. Well, Anthony Kim smacked. Yeah. So I think that's it. I think Mickelson McDowell is the last one. So I think. Mickelson. I think it's wrong because it's that 4 form. Yeah, Donald. I don't have a date location on Luke Donald versus Dan Sykes. Think that match up? That was a walk-off if that worked. Because I doubt McDowell would have followed up for birdie. He misses, and Phil can pack it in, and Phil wins the match anyway by 2. What a choke by Graham, I believe. So Donald versus Sykes. We will. So that there's. How many matches? That's 7. Okay, so yeah, Donald versus Sykes. That's the last matchup. We will go to bonus coverage. I know it's quite short. Well, Dan Sykes has a chance to knock Luke Donald out of contention. He will face Phil the Frill. The question on my mind is, what matchup do I do for the quarterfinals? I might not do Mickelson. Both of them went completely overboard. Sykes, well, Sykes doesn't have to win a hole. He can't lose any holes. He just doesn't lose. You can win a hole, you could tie a hole, it could be a hole. For par. Off by a foot. Sykes for the match. No! Oh yeah, the Dan Sykes Kachi. Oh, Luke Donald lost a match. E-I-E-I-O. He won't join the quarterfinals. E-I-E-I-O. With the Nichols here and the Stenson there. Reagan Hundle, Berhosekim, and Mickelson. Oh, Luke Donald lost the match. E-I-E-I-O. So we have 8 gentlemen. We have 2 foreigners on the top half, and none on the bottom half. Right? Yeah. So so the right hand bracket, if you will have no foreigners. So we know we'll see 1 American in the final, but will we see a battle of America? It's a 50-50 chance on the left side. So let's look at the line scores. Nichols versus Finsterwald. Well, Nichols started off fast, 5 up through 6. Oh, he didn't lose anything. Finsterwald fucked it up. Stenson against Goldby. Well, Stenson won 3 straight holes. Goldby thought he had it, but yeah. Karma is a biatch because of what Bob Goldby did. Dave Reagan, Frank Beard. It was actually close, but Reagan did win 3 holes, 14, 15, 16, and that was basically the end of it. Beard thought he had him, but knew. Bernard Hunt gave up only 1 hole, the 4th. So Bernard Hunt moves on against Oberholzer versus Kermit Sarley, who had a couple of big scalps. Oberholzer didn't win any holes past the 8th, but he didn't need to. Too many ties. Sarley couldn't take advantage this time. Yeah, you beat Tiger Woods. You beat Arnold Palmer, but you can't freaking beat Oberholzer? Wow. Anthony Kim, trying to prove that his Tournament of Champions win a couple years ago was no fluke, beats Jack Burke. Burke had a little bit of a lead, but Anthony Kim saw that. Phil the Frill, yeah, Graham was up by 2 through 8, and then he just self-destructed through bad sand traps and all that stuff. And Dan Sykes, well, Luke Donald had no. I think that RJ never probably would have lost to Sykes. Anyway, next round. Okay, so it is going to be Nichols versus Stenson. So we will do Nichols versus Stenson, and then any of the other 3 quarterfinals that are still going on, bonus coverage. So it's Nichols versus Stenson, Reagan versus Hunt, Oberhoser versus Kim, and Mickelson versus Sykes. So we'll see who ends up on top. As for the split, if you will, it is a 4-4 split. There is a all 60s matchup, Reagan versus Hunt, an all 2000s match, Oberholzer versus Kim, and 2 matches of a guy from the 60s, Nicholson and Sykes, facing 2 guys from the 2000s, Stenson and Mickelson. So it's an interesting battle, but someone has to do it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.